The season of garage sales has begun yet again, and that means another season of me buying random electronic doodads without having the slightest idea of what they do. Now, as I recall, Archer was one of Radio Shack's consumer brands, and this little box here was obviously video related, and with knobs like Lock and Enhance, I was hoping for some serious Blade Runner-esque video improvements.
Enhance 224 to 176.
Coming around to the back, we've got an audio level knob that is an absolute pain to turn, 2 composite video inputs, 2 audio inputs, 2 composite video outputs, 2 audio outputs, and a coaxial RF output with a switch to select between channels 3 and 4. Now, the first thing I want to do, of course, is look inside. And 6 screws later, the top case came off, and we can get a look at what makes it tick. As expected, the knobs on the front are all connected to variable resistors here. Here's our power transformer. Here's a really big capacitor that's probably part of the power circuit too. Our video outputs are here along the back. And these 3 transistors here are probably what actually modify the video signal. And finally, right here, we've got an RF modulator to drive that coaxial output. The circuit board has this kind of leaky look all around the components, so I'm not sure if that's residue from the soldering process or old age taking its toll, but it doesn't seem to affect how the box works too much. Time to drag out the tiny tube, hook up my Genesis, and see what this thing actually does. The 4 knobs on the front are labeled Lock, Delay, Enhance, and VNR, which I'm gonna guess stands for Video Noise Reduction. Lock seems to adjust the sync rate of the video signal, and if you set it too low, your video will start scrolling. Enhance adds synthetic sharpness, much like the sharpness control on newer TVs. I actually like the look of just a little bit of this, but too much will absolutely destroy the image. Delay lets you choose how much of the screen is affected by the other changes, so you can do like a real-time before and after split screen like I'm doing here. VNR didn't seem to change anything, and that's probably because my Sega Genesis doesn't really have any of the signal noise that something like a VCR might have. The Genesis only outputs a 240p signal though. How well would this box cope with a 480i signal? Well, to find out, I hooked up my Dreamcast via composite, and the results were less than spectacular. Actually, they were pretty terrible. Fine detail, like in the press start button text along the bottom here, is absolutely destroyed with even a little bit of sharpening. It almost had like a distorted, smeared look. Now, I suppose this is fine if you're into something like circuit bending, which seems to be what boxes like this are mostly used for nowadays, but for any practical home entertainment purpose, I'd have to say this thing is pretty much useless nowadays. I'd never really planned to use this for anything long term, but for $2 at a garage sale, testing it out was a fun way to spend an afternoon. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit like, get subscribed, and ring the bell so you get notified when I post new videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.